살려주십시오! 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 살려주십시오!
I was owing a huge debt to a loan shark. I couldn't pay him on time because I lost all the money to a fake investment. That night, I was captured and brought to his secret operation hideout. When I finally saw the light, I was terrified to the bone at the sight before me. I panicked. Fear crept me. I know my life will end on that cold table too. I screamed on top of my lungs to a deaf ear. But he didn't kill me there. He said he brought me to see what my faith will be if I do not pay his money. He gave me a chance to live. A chance filled with desperation, pressure, and anxiety because I was given only 1 month to pay 150 million debt. I was standing on a time bomb, yet I still had no idea where to get such money. Then I stumbled upon my father's life insurance worth 500 million won. It also had my name as the beneficiary, but I could only claim it after my father died. I couldn't believe my eyes. My mind was in turmoil. 500 million won can pay off my debt and still have enough to a life of my dream. The problem was that my dad is alive and very strong. If I had to wait for him to die, I myself would die before him. The more I pondered on it, the more desperate I became. A very dark plot formed in my head. I put a hit on my dad for a 30% cut of the insurance. The man I hired was a member of the Chinese-Korean notorious gang, so I was sure he was born for the job. My father goes to the cathedral every Friday to pray, and the alley he normally uses has no civilian cameras, so it made the job simple. I told the guy to kill my father and stage it as a hit and run. I even recorded our entire conversation and handed it him, just so I could gain his trust. My plan was flawless. If carried out well, nobody would suspect it was a deliberate act. I didn't want to be implicated, so on that day, I engaged myself in numerous activities to keep me busy and buy myself an alibi, while the guy I hired also carry on the deed. Until the next morning, I hadn't heard from the guy. Desperately, I searched for headline from the net, but nothing. Then I received a call from a police officer. He struggled to break the bad news to me. I hurried to the morgue, pretended I was shocked and heartbroken. I caressed the cold body of my dad as I shed tears. When I calmed down, the officer tells me my father's death was not ordinary because the witness saw the car intentionally hit him twice. The man even wanted to ensure he was dead. What was more bizarre was my father's body was found buried in the mountains. I was devastated. What was meant to be a flawless play ended up messy. I instantly knew I was screwed. I became the prime suspect in my own father's case. The situation I had wanted to avoid became the reality. The officer checked for all my alibi. Although I was cleared, he was still not satisfied. I didn't let that worry me much, because what was waiting for me was far more dangerous than facing the law. Dressed in my morning suit, I went to the insurance office full of anticipation to claim the money. I didn't expect the manager to tell me I had to wait for them to complete investigation to my father's death before they could give me the money. I was disappointed, yet I couldn't do anything. Time was running. If I don't get the money, I would lose my life in less than a month. Every moment was crucial for me. My worries became more endless. The guy I hired started threatening me to hand the recording to the police if I don't pay him in 1 week. The situation became uglier when the guy unknowingly killed the officer investigating my father's tragic death. He called to threaten me again to quickly get him his money so he could escape to China, because sooner or later the police will trace the evidence to him. I finally had a mental breakdown. I couldn't take his constant pressure and decided to end the cat and mouse chase. I called him and took him to a secluded place far from the town under the pretense of going to get him the money. Then I would kill him and bury him quietly. But I underestimated his strength. I got struck repeatedly by my own hammer. I passed out. When I woke up, I found myself bound tight to a chair, blood stroking down my face. I didn't know what happened, but the guy I hired was not there. Only saw a new yet unfamiliar face. As he came closer, I saw him wearing my clothes. I didn't understand, so I asked him who he is. He leaned in and said with a serious face, "I'm going to become you as of today." My face turned instant pale. Turns out when I hired the hit guy, he and this guy carried out the job together. When the situation went out of hand, they carried the body to the car and left the scene. This guy was supposed to dispose the body quietly, but his greedy for money did not allow him to dispose the body peacefully. He colluded with his canning girlfriend to frame an innocent doctor to extra money. He made it look like the doctor killed my father with his car when in truth my dad's body had long been cold. It didn't stop there. He became an accomplice and helped the doctor to dispose the body. That was why the police found my dad's body buried in the mountains. He and his girlfriend fooled the doctor into believing he killed my dad and extort a lot of money from him to keep it a secret. When the doctor finally knew the truth and confronted them, instead of feeling ashamed, they drugged him and took him to a secluded place to bury him. Halfway through, the doctor gained consciousness. The doctor couldn't accept the betrayal from the girl he loved. He became enraged and killed the canning girlfriend with the car. But the guy sorted out a revenge right there because the girl the doctor killed was this guy's partner. He brutally killed the doctor in a cold blood without knowing his crimes were recorded by those private detectives the doctor's wife hired to follow her husband. He soon became wanted nationwide after the case was handed to the crime unit. The guy's face were broadcast on major news. Realizing there was no place for him with his face revealed on the news, he didn't hesitate to kill the guy I hired. He was more twisted and dangerous than the guy I hired. Just because I bore a striking resemblance to him, he poured gasoline on me, end my already miserable life in a hellish way, and steals my identity to escape from his crimes, completely unaware of the tragic end that await him in the life he had stolen.